Hey everyone, this is First Warn Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Brad Pans for the update on Nate, what Nate's doing, a hurricane becoming a Category 2 before landfall, and the rain chances here in the Charlotte area. So we'll kind of kill two birds with one stone here, talking about both of them because there are separate features really to talk about. First, let's talk about Nate because a lot of viewers and friends of mine down on the Gulf Coast, this thing is really rapidly intensifying. The circulation center is really close to the mouth of the Mississippi River and is going to make landfall sometime tonight. Now, these are the wind fields, and what you're looking at here, the hurricane force winds are in this spot. We've got 50-mile-an-hour winds here and 40-mile-an-hour winds here. You can see it's a very small circulation, and the strongest winds are going to be on the east side. It's a very lopsided system, but huge storm surge on the Mississippi and Alabama Gulf Coast. There will be significant storm surge here, even in parts of southeast Louisiana. But the winds overall are going to be in a very small circulation near the center. You can see the forecast wind field, pretty strong winds moving into parts of Alabama and Mississippi because the storm is moving really fast, like 25, 26 miles an hour. So it is flying, which is bad news inland because that means the strong winds move in, but good news because if it stayed over the Gulf any longer, it could have been a Cat 3 or Cat 4. You could see the winds really die down as it gets into Tennessee. I don't expect much of a wind issue for the Charlotte area at all. It does not look like to be a major deal. So the rain we have over us now, if you're going to the Xfinity race, or any activities at the track, it does look like this first batch of rain is moving north pretty quickly. We might get into some clearing down here later. So there are a chance that we're going to see some drying later this evening as we go into the overnight hours. Nate eventually is going to race up here. And let me put the actual forecast track on. If you look at the center, you can actually see the center showing up right there, the eye, pretty close to the mouth of the Mississippi River. It has it here sometime later tonight, but I think it's going to be this evening, and then moving quickly up into parts of Tennessee by tomorrow afternoon and evening. So it's going to be flying. That's the one thing about Nate. It is a fast-moving hurricane. But the rain we have is actually not even associated with Nate. It's just the moisture coming in from the coast. So we will continue to see that develop as we go into the afternoon. Here's a look at Nate again on the GOES 16, and you can see how fast it's moving. This is only a 24-minute loop. And it is just absolutely racing. We're starting to get an eye, it looks like, trying to develop right there. We might see an eye wall form right before landfall. To me, this is going to cross over and do something like this later this evening. So we're going to see landfall sooner than later. So let's talk about the rain chances this evening. We can see the rain moving through today. Most of this will be gone by about 4 or 5 o'clock. We get into a lull tonight. Again, there'll be some drizzle and some rain around. We'll go into tomorrow morning. We'll wake up tomorrow morning. We'll get the big NASCAR race. We'll get the Bank of America 500. This is lunchtime tomorrow, so this is noon tomorrow. Let me pause it here. And remember, the track is right here. So scattered showers here, but not bad. Maybe some drizzle or mist around. Doesn't look horrible. We go to 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. So you get the idea that, yeah, there's rain in the forecast tomorrow, but there's a chance that we might have a window here where we can get some racing in tomorrow. So as pessimistic as your app probably says, and there is a good chance of rain tomorrow. I don't think it's going to rain the whole day. The mountains certainly stand to have the biggest chance of rain, and that's the area we have to watch for significant flooding as we go through the next 24 hours. So the overall impact here in the Carolinas will be rain from Nate and the moisture we're getting ahead of it. With Nate's track coming up roughly like this but moving fast, the flooding won't be as big an issue if this is a slow-moving system, but you can see the mountains, 4, 5, 6 inches likely. If we're going to see flooding, it would be in the mountains. Across the Piedmont, this is actually welcomed rain, first rain in 24 days that we got today. We'll see more tomorrow, and especially tomorrow night into Monday. This is not a big wind maker, though, by the way, because the winds will be dying as it gets closer. We could see some gusts in the mountains to 30, 35, maybe 40, but sustained winds are going to be less than 20 miles an hour for most of this event. So this is not a big wind event for us. It's really about the rain. And again, the concern tonight is for the Mississippi, Alabama, and Louisiana Gulf Coast because the storm is intensifying so quickly. Actually starting to see what appears to be a hint of an eye trying to poke through there. We'll have to see if that actually develops. I'll go back to the radar and satellite together, because if you look at the radar and satellite together, you can actually start to see the eye on the radar here, even though it's cloud covered right in there. and it's flying. I mean, you guys don't normally see storms moving this quickly. 25, 26 miles an hour. I mean, that is an absolutely dragster for a storm. It is flying, which means two things. It's not going to have time to get much stronger, but it'll bring winds pretty far inland into Alabama, Mississippi, and for us, the good news, the rain, while it'll be heavy at times, it could be a lot worse if this was a slow-moving system. So hope that clears things up for you. I'll keep posting updates as we go through the evening, but if you're down in Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, listen to your local officials. Evacuate if you're in a storm surge area, because the storm surge could be 11 feet in some locations.